Hi there, folks. How's it going? Man and Country folks here once again in the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles Resolve.
Hey, it's been a while. Glad to see y'all again.
Yeah, like I mentioned before, I was away for last week, so I couldn't be able to stream, but we'll get back into it. So since it's been a while, a quick recap of what happened last time. We finally met the famous Dr. Drever in court, who's quite a character. And
I have to remember how I do all my voices.
And after a while, we figure out that a way around this case is to find out the identity of the professor, the guy behind the mask. And apparently only one person, well, two, theoretically speaking, know who was behind the mask, because otherwise why the mannequin was stolen in the first place. And now we're gonna hear the testament of the one who made the what's war, which is, yes.
And Lord Van Zyke's disciple is going to be the prosecutor this time for this part of the trial.
It's gonna be interesting. So that being said, let's get into it. Also, hi Crocus and Bishop, welcome.
Hi everyone.
Okay, and just make sure the microphone's picking up. Yeah, it is. Okay. Anyway,
I'm so excited.
Let's go. Le continue.
Whooshaw! Nah, the Knight Errant himself.
Oh, have you been watching from the gallery, Mr. Jones?
I've been on the edge of my seat the entire time. Courtroom trials are fascinating affairs, as a spectator at least.
You said it. I'm glad you've been enjoying yourself.
I have to ask. What on earth is going on? It makes no sense! What's this professor business all about? He doesn't look like any professor I've ever met before. Who even is he?
Ah, of course. You were in Germany already 10 years ago.
Yes, the professor. When I discovered he was the one who'd been abducted, a sense of foreboding stirred within me. But who knew the monster would come knocking at your door? My heartfelt sympathies!
As it turns out, Lord Van Zyke is even more intimately tied to this case than anyone else realized.
I've always known he was married to his work, but Jesus!
Yes, how true. His great friend from university in the dock.
And now, the waxwork of the killer who took his esteemed brother's life makes an appearance too. And I imagine even the shrewd Mr. Reaper failed to foresee that kick in the teeth. An extraordinary move on your part, my dear fellow, to throw that in front of the man.
Oh, a boot to the head is super effective. You make it sound deliberate. I can't help feeling that this professor case is really very puzzling.
No, yes? In what particular manner?
Well, there's Mr. Drever, Dr. Sy, and Lord Van Zyke. It seems that everyone in the trial has a link to the case somehow.
Yes! In fact, I alone am not a member of the set! Though that leaves me as an empty set, all alone with no intersection to another. Excuse me! Oh wait, no, that's me. Excuse me.
Dr. Zyke!
Dr. Courtney Scythe, Miss Stevens, good day to you. hello, Sholmes. That was very shrewd of you. What in particular, pray? You requested that 10-year-old autopsy report from Gregson, didn't you?
Oh.
Why would you assume such a thing? Because Gregson told me.
I'm sorry, I didn't want to.
To think it's been 10 years. 10 years in the laboratory, wielding my scalpel. I smell of nothing but corpses and disinfectant.
A policeman on the jury had a lot to say about you as it happens. Well, I accuse you of being complicit in what happened. Hoping that you take the stand the truth and tell the truth of what had really happened.
That certainly won't be possible. Lord Van Zykes won't be summoning me as a witness. Lord Strongheart has forbidden it.
Oh. Lord Strongheart?
The Pandora's box you were warned about is the Professor case. But please, don't make the mistake of thinking you'll get any information about it out of me.
But attempted to hide from the truth. That's cowardice!
I've always fought crime in the way that I see fit. I have no regrets, none at all. And that's all I came here to say. So, good day to you. And here I go disassociating.
She mentioned it too. This Pandora's box.
Who is Pandora, and why does she have such fancy boxes?
Whatever does this all mean?
That reminds me of a puzzle, my dear fellow. There's really no cause for concern, I assure you, when that trial resumes. The meaning will become all too apparent whether you'd like it to or not. Now then, I believe it's almost time. I must make my way back to the public gallery. The edge of my seat awaits.
I think maybe you're enjoying yourself a little too much.
Ah, yes. One word of warning before I go. If, in the course of the trial this afternoon, you perceive even a shadow of doubt about the truth, don't let it out of your sight. Pursue it like a dog with a bone.
I mean, what?
To the bitter end, you understand. Do not falter, whatever may come to pass.
Interesting. Alright, I understand. Thank you.
Good. I shall make myself scarce then. I purchased a bar of caramel earlier, so I will be gnawing on that as you gnaw away at the truth.
Sean's Caramel. He has a branding. Of course he does a branding.
No, I simply put my own label on the brand, you see. Copyright issues, you know.
What did that warning from Mr. Jones really mean, I wonder?
Don't eat too much caramel before the trial?
Well, that, but especially the bit about whatever may come to pass. Basically, I'm gonna open a big can of worms. It's time for the final chapter then.
But we still have 2 more cases left.
And determined to find the truth. No matter. Oh my god, I'm corpsing. Hey! Welcome, Andy. Just in time.
Hi, Deakus.
Hey, Deakus.
It's been a long time.
Yeah. Welcome. We're just in time. In the name of Her Majesty, the Queen, I hereby reconvene the proceedings of this court. Counsels for the defense and prosecution, are you ready and able to continue?
The prosecution is ready, my lord.
Yes, my lord. The defense is also ready. As the court is aware, the case under our scrutiny began with a damaging incident at the Great Exhibit. Yet we find ourselves embroiled in the details of a convicted felon who was sent to the gallows a decade ago. This trial has certainly defied all expectation.
It seems to be the fate of all trials in which this Nipponese is involved, my lord.
So then, let us begin our exploration of the defense assertion that the Wadsworth was cardinally involved in this matter. Lord Van Sykes,
My lord?
are we still awaiting the arrival of Madame Two Spells?
Not at all. We were able to get her younger sister, Madame One Spell. I mean, she is in the antechamber as we speak and ready to be summoned.
Very well. Bringing the witness.
At once, my lord. Bailiff, show Madame Two Spells to the stand.
Things are about to become a lot more intense. If Trevor is responsible, and I'm sure he is, it means he must have an accomplice in the site. And what connects the pair of them is the Wadsworth. Yes, the mother of the professor. That's the key to the link between this otherwise unrelated individual. It's a tenuous link, admittedly, but at present it's all we have to go on. Oh my god.
Really? Is this the best time for this? And state your name and occupation for the court, please.
Oh, oui, well, my name is Madame Esmeralda Two Spells. I am a Wadsworth artisan.
That's a bust of Sholm she's chiseling.
I'm the proprietress of the Madame Two Spells Museum of Wadsworth.
Which is wax and which is real, I can't tell. They're both exactly the same.
You'll have to pardon me for working as a testifier. My new exhibit must open very soon. Oh my god. Oh, so he finally gets a statue, does he? Now there are two of them in the world. We are doomed. Oh my, what expression is carrying on that face?
It's quite a likeness, isn't it, my dear fellow? Thank you, good boy. A number of days ago, a particular waxwork model was stolen from your museum. Can you confirm this?
That is true. First, we believe it has been kidnapped. What's your model? Kidnapped, you say?
Yes, but then we learned that the appropriate colloquialism is wax-snapped. It's not a child.
Wait, what did you say? Real like, one day without testimony for someone who looks like they need seconds. You were surprised. Ah, oui, my lord. There are demand for ransom money left behind by the culprit. However, according to what I just been told outside the room, that was not the true response.
Oh, that phrase, what I've just been told, outside the courtroom, that's highly suspicious.
I understand it was utilized as a substitute for the body of a murder victim. So in other words, she was told not to say it right away who's behind the mask.
Exactly. She's been told to keep her fucking mouth shut. And at present, that is no more than conjecture posed by the defense. This is the victim of the case in question, Mr. Odie Asman. And he looks like a right bitch, doesn't he?
Oh
I was
yeah,
about to
no,
drop a
no
hard
question
C,
about it.
Holy shit.
No question about it. But of course, I know him well. He's part of my odious personage exhibit.
Oh, so she does have a model of him.
I detest to say that it's evident, but Mr. Asman does not resemble the professor at all.
Well, yeah, the professor's got that
Yeah.
huge metal mask on his face.
Yes, but perhaps the fairies are very similar. Are you suggesting we should see the masked visage of the professor? I hear the key, but it's really forbidden to open the lock.
Well, thanks for showing us that. This is absurd.
Pardon?
I don't know what face you've carved into your fancy figure beneath that mask. But clearly, it won't be that of the actual killer.
Indeed. The man's identity was never made public after all.
Well, better now to find out. The trial took place in a closed court. The proceedings were strictly confidential. The condemned man was summarily executed. His identity remains a closely guarded national secret. There is no possible way that a repository of tawdry exhibits could get its hands on that information.
Oh, quel dommage. It would seem that you are unaware of the two spells principle. She saw the dead body, or what she thought it was the dead body at least. What principle? The family to spells has always prided itself on sculpting its molds a la perfection. Every detail, including the visage, is fashioned with complete fidelity. And voila, our principle. There's a well-known legend about the two spells Wadsworth for the time of the French Revolution. A member of the two spells family is said to have made a Wadsworth the queen who was just executed. Oui, that is true. It was a century ago now. I believe the queen's fate was carrying the minute following her death. Actually, the guillotine said, what the actual fuck, Giuseppe?
I know, right? Jeez.
Correct. No, tu es correct. The model is on display still today in the House of Hall. We two spells will still add nothing to obtain a faithful replica of our subject.
Jeez, poor Marie Antoinette. She just keeps getting shit on them.
Dear me, a somewhat disturbing tenacity of purpose. It is the only way to obtain a truly lifelike representation of the body. And it has been my family's secret for generations. Do you mean to say that beneath the mask, the true visage of the killer is there?
This is ludicrous. It's out of the question.
The professor spread terror to Great Britain. As a result, the Madame to Spell Special 7 remain extremely popular even today. The killer emerged from his own grave. It is a sight to behold. You should come.
Phrasing.
I think, madam, it would be beneficial to hear your formal testimony on this matter. You will explain every detail of this macabre model, and your personal involvement in its creation. With pleasure. Ho ho ho.
Crêpe Suzanne.
Qui a coupé du fromage? I mean, the special suit in the House of Horrors. It's based on the rumors that shocked society in London. An impression of the visage was taken directly from the corpse, in accordance with two spell family principles. I enlist the aid of the Black Dealer. and create a mold for the head in the cemetery just behind the interment. I hid myself until he gave me a signal. I was there for a very long time that night. As dawn approached, but very worried I would be discovered. Well now. The gravedigger! The man such it is? You will do all necessary to achieve the true resemblance my family is celebrating. Nobody else knew. Only the gravedigger. What harm did it do? Huh?
So you truly saw it? The face of that monster!
Naturally, I was aware at the time that his identity was a secret. But the spells will not be two spells if we did not insist on absolute fidelity of our sculptures.
We'd be that knockoff family. 3 spells. I don't believe this.
I myself have seen the special exhibit as you resume, madam. A truly blood-curdling scene in which a murderer is emerging from his own grave. The scene is a pit but the subject of many rumors in London 10 years ago. I have here a newspaper for the time.
Oh, here we go. More evidence. Oh!
The special exhibit was based upon the picture in this article. Drawn by an ass-man. It was the most delicate account of what happened as reported by the eyewitnesses who saw it.
Wait a minute. Is this even legible?
We'll see.
Man rises from the grave. It's too absurd for words.
We need to look at this right now.
Hold on, I want to take a very in-depth look at this. Let's see. Executed criminal at Longgrave Cemetery just behind the... Oh, this is like a full article.
Yep.
The night of the foul demon's execution, the newly entered Professor Forstall, his grave... Hold! Blah, blah, blah. The young man witnessed the scene on the verge of raising a shriek when in the next second a gunshot rang out and suddenly from behind, the bullet pierced the resurrected man's chest, whose breath then stilled once more. Oh! Huh.
Okay, so that's gonna be crucial at some point, so we need to remember this bit.
The fact that this is all incredibly legible is like a warning light to me.
University student who experienced this shocking event is Mr. Enoch Rabe, a principal disciple of science at the University of London and resident student dormants. Massive rampage! As one phenomenon grids Fortshire region. Charles Darwin to receive copy medal. Wow.
Was the Ball Mosque to blame for the Great Blaze? The fire that engulfed the popular theater continues to draw attention as reports that Her Majesty Queen Victoria herself visited the Royal Italian Opera to inspect the site and offer words of condolences to the theater's owner, Mr. Frederick Guy. The theater had been under lease to famed magician John Henry Anderson, and there is some speculation that the blame for the fire lies squarely with him for his insistence on holding his Ball Mosque there. Could his magical tricks have played a trick on him, coercing the city a great center for the arts? The investigation of the true cause is expected to continue the next month, if not beyond, according to our sources. Wow!
And then, Krakatoa eruption!
No further information.
Yes.
Okay, so...
Yeah, so this is gonna
So
be
he still
crucial.
has the camera. He has the shovel, the lantern. There's no mask. Well, there is a mask on the face, but it's not made. It doesn't look like it's made of iron, though.
No.
It's more like it's just
On the other
rotting.
hand, look who illustrated this. And Assman did it.
Oh, ooh, that's a big hint right there. The
Yeah.
illustrator for the scene.
Ass. Okay.
He's got them cheeks that clap, you know. Oh wait, no, that's Ass Man.
Well, if Marie didn't want to get her hair chopped off, she should have told his husband to lower the taxes. I mean, yeah. Anyway. The poor angels assaulted Monsieur. That's why I had to reproduce the scene as carefully as possible in my museum. And it's what's work from that exhibit that was stolen some days before the incident at the great exhibition, wasn't it? That is correct. The professor you see before you here. Most puzzling. Counsel for the defense. Proceed with the cross-examination. This Wordsworth links Trevor to Doctor's side, and there has to be some reason for that, which hasn't yet come to light. But I'll find it. I'll get to the bottom of what really happened. I'll prove that Dr. Side and Dr. Trevor were on this crime together. The special exhibition at the House of Halls is on a rumor that shocked society in London. Hold it! And that rumor will be a 10-year-old here now, but one that no Londoner will be ever forget. Alright, I know what you're talking about, I think.
Of course, it couldn't be anything else.
Yes! That study will never disappear! Wah! The tale of the condemned killer rising from the dead. That is the central attraction of my house of horror. The rumor was whispered all over the city, and it was like this. There was an elongated cemetery behind the prison, in the day and night after the execution of the killer. And hold on.
So how y'all doing? Yeah, that's always fun. Yeah, I saw that one.
Okay, sorry about that.
Hey, welcome back.
Anyway, where was I? The entire professor slid back the stone slab covering his tomb and emerged from his grave. A young man who witnessed this felt a scream welling up inside. But an instant later, he heard an ear-splitting gunshot from over his shoulder, just like in the article.
Yeah.
The bullet struck the emerging calf, and he fell motionless once more. The scream finally found its way from the mouth of the young witness, who turned and ran for his life. The corpse climbed out of his own grave? And then somebody shot him? Who? Who was it? Well, nobody knows, even today. Zombie shot. Wait, wasn't he a zombie? Oh, remember, it was just a rumor, perhaps nothing more than a ghost story. The good people of London, they love stories like this. That is why I was in every newspaper. It was in every newspaper about across the capital. But it was just a story? I mean, this is exactly the scene that can be seen today at your museum. Oh, the special exhibit was modeled on that very illustration. For a while afterward, the contents of the article were reproduced in every newspaper imaginable. Madame, might I say something? Please tell me you notice the signature. Please, go ahead, mademoiselle. When something is described as a rumor, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's entirely made up. I believe that, often, rumors contain elements of the truth. Ah, I see that people from the East can be just as astute as the people of Europe.
Wow.
Can we be sure, for instance, that the professor's execution was successful? Oh, it's not possible for the dead to come back to life, is what you're trying to say. Nani? 10 years ago, I was there in Lowgate Cemetery, after the criminal known as the Professor was killed by hanging. I took a watch's impression with massage from the corpse just before it was interred. So I can assure you, the man was dead. I see. It will certainly appear that the condemned man suffered the intended fate. An impression of the visage was taken directly from the corpse, in accordance with two-spell family principle. Hold it. Is that true of every watchword in your museum then? I guess, assuming the subject is dead, of course, like subjects had to cooperate in a similar way. Looking at you, Mr. Shom.
He's just doing his waxwork impression.
I have letters from imprisoned criminals all the time, you know. What sort of letters? When my time comes, please make a watchword of me. Come on, sir. Oh no! We museum is famous, monsieur. To be made into a watchword is an honor, and for some criminals, symbol status even. Because nothing says hardened criminal better than what? And it's thanks to one killer in particular that my museum has gained such popularity in London. I'll affect the started special exhibit, of course. The Professor.
Whose form you claim to have captured by taking an impression from the actual corpse.
There are no exceptions to the principle of the spells. I enlisted the aid of the Gravedigger. I created a mole of the head in the cemetery just before the interment.
So who's the Gravedigger?
Oh, wait, sorry. Hold it! Surely that's illegal, isn't it?
And it would seem that properties of this repository of novelties was blinded by monetary greed.
It had nothing to do with money, you son of a bitch. I mean, the man is part of London criminal history. That is why I had to sculpt him, to record this history. It is a raison d'etre of the Two Spells Museum. But if the man was convicted in a close court and sent to immediate execution, then surely nobody but the members of the jury present know the killer true identity. I assure you, behind the mask is hidden the true face of the Professor.
Do you realize what you're saying? The Professor's identity is a national secret!
I understand. And now that the truth about the special exhibit has been revealed, it must perhaps close.
Of course it will. As will your entire museum if you don't tread very carefully, madame.
That could be. I'm not interested chapter that has to my family thing, don't you? So 10 years ago, on the night of the professor's execution, you took a what's impression of his face from the corpse. We attacked the man. I hid myself until he gave me a signal. I was there for the very long time that night. Yeah, what is that signal? Hold it.
It was... That was the signal.
You were
You
there
couldn't see,
long.
but I was doing like a funny hand gesture with my face.
You were there longer than you expected to be. I had some difficulties in catching the subject's form correctly. As I removed the mask, the mouth of the cadaver fell open and had some problem with its chin. Dare I ask? The man has been dead for a short while already, you see. His muscles were relaxing and consequently his chin would not align itself correctly. Oh, rigor mortis. Good old rigor mortis. Oh dear, what a horrible thought.
Let's all keep thinking about it.
Under normal circumstances, I will have an assistant with me. However, that night I was alone, and as a consequence, I missed my preferred window of time. What do you mean? When I take the impression of the visage of a cadaver, take that chance. I always wait until 3 hours after that. Why 3 hours? Is that amount of time significant? It is because of regal mortis. A regal mortis? Oh boy. It's a name given to a phenomenon that occurs in recently deceased bodies. As a rule, 3 hours post-death, the muscles in the body begin to stiffen. But approximately 10 hours post-death, the entire body is completely rigid and inflexible. And then from that point on, the muscles slowly start to revert to their relaxed state. The effect is often used to estimate the time of death when a body is discovered. Well, that was an education, if a slightly scary one. As the one myself says, rigor mortis commences 3 hours after death, and it starts in the jaw.
I see. So that's why you wait.
Before that time, the mouth falls open. It is very difficult to do my work. Ugh. It's hard to me to do my work with all this talk of corpses. I wonder about the information Kurt just heard from the mental spell. It is significant.
It's significant. Has to be.
The information about rigor mortis that you just shared with us, would you mind including it in your formal testimony? I believe it could be significant, you see. Of course, I do not mind at all, my ami. I can't help feeling that after this latest topic, the atmosphere in the courtroom has become extremely grave.
Oh my fucking god.
This is not time for jokes, Mr. Sun. Madam, kindly amend your testimony and discuss. That's all. Let's see what she said now. It took me a very long time because it was before the onset of rigor mortis. Let's press before we look for something.
I'm not sure how this is a contradiction to anything.
Well, let's press. Hold it. Rigor mortis being the phenomenon described, whereby the corpse becomes stiff after death. I think you said that it starts at the jaw, about 3 hours post-death. Is that right? Oui, c'est ça. Of course, the saturation depends only on the system. Hold on. I just thought about it. Death by hanging confirmed at midnight 17 June. Okay?
Yeah.
That's what they said. And when this happened? Did he say? No.
No, I don't think it does.
Okay. So we need to find out what time she started doing her work. Oui, c'est ça. It's ça. Of course, that situation depends a little on the... I didn't realize a Westward artisan will be so well versed in the subject. No. That is only elementary knowledge in the field of legal medicine. Well, I had no idea about it, but maybe I want to admit to my ignorance about this forensic society. I could ask my father to give you a very simple primer if you like. I think corpses should be your domain. I'm not good with them.
Wait a minute. Didn't she say that she was almost there till dawn?
Yeah. Oh dear.
Wait, that is a consistency because if you look at the autopsy report for the professor, it says he was hanged at midnight.
Yes. And she
didn't get access until almost dawn, so that's after 3 hours.
Yeah, and the joust was still loose.
Yeah. Yep, here it is.
As an approach, I was very well that could be discovered. Okay, so we present the autopsy. Oh, before that, hold on. Because...
Yeah, we present on her amended statement like we always do.
Okay, so I think it should be the autopsy, but let's see what else is available.
It's the killer's autopsy report.
Yeah, there you go. Objection. Madame Two Spells. I have here an autopsy report that was filed 10 years ago now. It confirms the death of the professor following his execution at the gallows. Is that a problem? I believe it is, because your testimony and a particular detail in the report completely contradict one another. What?
Are you going to explain yourself, my Nipponese friend?
According to her testimony, Madame Tuspel was creating her watch impression just before dawn. Her hat flies off to reveal Tiny Owl. Don't tell me I missed that. And at that time, rigor mortis has not yet set in. Am I correct so far, Madame? You are weak. As I said, the stiffening of the jaw is the first sign of rigor mortis, 2 to 3 hours after death. But the machine was limp, so he cannot have been dead for a long time.
There you go.
But on the other hand, if you look at Dr. Sai's report, it's quite clear to state the following. Death by hanging confirmed at midnight, 17th June.
No!
If the professor indeed died that night at midnight that day, then by the time you were scalding his face, rigor mortis would already have been set in. You're right. The machine, you are being completely stiff. In other words, this report is wrong.
An objection! No coroner makes mistakes when recording the time of death. The very idea is absurd.
In that case, there's only one possible conclusion. The execution didn't actually take place at a steady time.
Impossible!
Order! Order! Council! This is beyond folly. Not only do you indeed the author of the report, Dr. Site, but you also implicate members of the staff of Berkeley Prison with the execution took place. By heck, it's Saturday!
Not in my day! Objection! My learned friend appears to have overlooked one very crucial fact.
What fact?
The professor died that night, without question!
He did, of course he did. A multi-man's rich. Oh, objection. Yes, the professor died that night. But what if he didn't die at the gallows?
Didn't die at... Are you insane? What exactly are you suggesting did happen in that case?
It's almost impossible to believe, but it will explain the link between Dr. Scythe, the professor, and that other person of interest. I have evidence that will explain exactly what I'm suggesting happened that night.
You mean like that article we just got?
Council! Present the evidence at once! The evidence that legit explains what really happened on the night of Professor execution.
I mean, we just got it today. Why not present it?
Might as well. Take that. What happened that night is written very plain in this newspaper article. Executed criminal returns in the dead of night at a local cemetery.
You're suggesting it was a corpse coming back from the dead now?
Well, if this article is to believe, yes. The professor assumed that following his execution, emerged from his grave and was killed again.
An objection! Don't be a fool. That's simply a rumor published by the gutter press.
Can you be certain of that?
Are you serious?
The point is, as the article states, there was a witness to what happened. My word! Yes, indeed! Monsieur, the young man who stole the cemetery by the chance at night.
Objection! And of course there was a witness. The story didn't write itself. But obviously the man made it all up.
Are we forgetting who that man is already, Mr. Sykes? I'm hunting the case! It was 10 years ago now. There will surely be no hope to finding him.
Actually, he's a little closer than you might think.
He's right there. Objection. On the contrary, my lord. We'll know with this witness well.
What?
Are you suggesting, counsel, that you identify the person in question? That you know who kind of has seen this utterly incredible events take place? Yes, man. Oh, you said. Oh, it's so funny. Haha, I think my days were pretty. Nothing gets in my. Ah, zombie! Hey, what's this? Where did he was? Oh my god.
I love a callback joke.
In fact, you could say he's right here before my very eyes. You also stated your latest claims now then, counsel. Who is the alleged witness of the staggering event of the cemetery 10 years ago? Oh,
We
I
know
don't know.
him well. He's finally back to tell his tale.
Take that! The man in question is Mr. Enoch Drebber.
Drebber?
The previous witness? A special exhibit in the House of Horrors at Madame Tussauds Museum of Watch recreates that decade-old scene in great detail. A condemned criminal emerging from the grave, and beside the tomb, a young man with a lantern stumbling upon the terrifying sight. And that young man is a 10-year younger Mr. Enoch Drebber. Order! 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 Surely not, counsel.
Drebber was there in Lowgate Cemetery.
What is this talk about, Mr. Drebber? Is the name significant? Of course, Madame Tussauds doesn't know, does she? Yes, it's extremely significant, madame. To your question as well, in fact. What situation? The theft of the Professor Wadsworth from the museum some days ago was perpetrated by the very same man. No! But that will mean...
Madame Tuspels. It would appear you know the name Enoch Drebber.
Yes, I know. From long ago in the past. Don't tell me Drebber was the Grave Digger.
Yes, you see, I was quite familiar with her too.
Oh my! Good gracious!
And explain yourself! Tell us everything you know!
We, of course. The story of the young man and the terrible sight he witnessed in the cemetery 10 years ago was published in every single newspaper in London and throughout Great Britain.
Don't let your kids watch it! Before you know it, they're gonna be eating sports cake, moving and running and jumping and dancing and being healthy.
Okay. However, what was that rumor anyway? Don't mind him, just keep going. Out of the article, the witness was simply described as a certain young man. No details were published about his identity. His name was never revealed. That is, apart from in one newspaper.
You'll have to tell me about that later, Deacus.
Oh yeah. It's not. I can tell you later too. The Daily Stickers. It is the paper from which comes the article I have already shown the court. You're saying that his full name was only published in that article? Goodness me! Yes, it is! The university student who experienced this shocking event is Mr. Enoch Drebber, a disciple of science at the University of London and a resident of his student's dorm.
So he wasn't a gravedigger, he was just a student.
Unbelievable. Yes, he was a short in a story they did the show. They animated him as a big white wolf. Wonderful. When I read the article, I went to meet with the man. He discovered the condemned criminal coming back to life in the cemetery in the dead of night. Will make a perfect exhibit for my house of horrors, whether it was the truth or not. I see! So you went to meet Mr. Drebber in order to sculpt a Wadsworth the man, did you? Exactement. He was studying science at the University of London in those days. He was just a poor student.
He's just a poor student, nobody loves him.
Scaramouche, Scaramouche. I paid him £5 to mull for the Wadsworth. And since that time, he has been in my museum to recreate the scene of terror from the cemetery.
This is such bullshit.
Line. So, 10 years ago, a young man appealed to the public about an extraordinary event with a criminal who had been put to death, re-emerging from his grave in the middle of the night. But the public treated his claim as nothing more than a missing anecdote that was soon forgotten. 10 years later, the same man steals a Wadsworth model of the executed criminal. Obscenely to use a body double for the victim in the case we're discussing here today. Even though the Wadsworth build is a poor match for the victim, and its face is obscured by a mask. So the question is, why would the man do such a thing?
That's what you're trying to prove.
Which brings us to 3 days ago, when the birdcage crashed into the Crystal Tower. The birdcage had in fact contained not the body of Mr. Aspen, but that same Wadsworth. The coroner from Scotland who investigated Toto's side would have noticed immediately.
And we have an ad break coming up too.
Indeed. Okay, we'll be back soon. We'll be back right after this message.
I'm going to get me some snackage.
I see. Back soon. And we're back.
Hey, welcome back.
So I read that already. And yet, she submitted this autopsy report for the victim, which the court has seen earlier. Why?
Because the waxwork was that of the professor. Is that what you're saying?
Dr. Sai put her name to the document confirming the death of a condemned criminal who was still alive. A criminal whose apparent resurrection was witnessed by Mr. Drever. But that misconduct was a deadly secret the coroner will do anything to protect. Which is precisely why Mr. Drever used that particular waxwork as the bottle double. My lord! This court must summon Dr. Sight to the stand. The defense is determined to find out exactly how the coroner and Mr. Drever are connected. But according to the missive I received this morning through the prosecution office, Dr. Sight is unable to participate in this proceeding. Is that not the case? She told us all herself, didn't she?
Lord Van Zykes won't be summoning me as a witness. Lord Strongheart has forbidden it.
Lord Sternhardt.
The Pandora's box you were warned about is the Professor case. But please don't make the mistake of thinking you'll get any information about it out of me.
I think this is what Shiro was talking about. Something happened on the night of that killer's execution 10 years ago. And surely nobody would want to go to the bottom of this more than Lord Van Zykes.
The prosecution calls for the instructions in that missive to be scrapped.
But not the right site! The missive is issued from the Lordship Justice Office!
Objection! The assigned prosecutor has the final say on policy in any particular trial. In other words, me.
Oh, yes.
Let Enoch Drever and Dr. Side both take the stand together.
Oh, this is gonna be interesting.
He's gonna get into some pretty hot water from his boss.
Order! 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 Very well, I will uphold your request. Bailiff! There is some point out with the immediate effect addressed to Dr. Sai of the forensic investigation team. The woman is compelled to attend on Her Majesty's orders. Alright then. And a driver on the other side. If they weren't calling with one another, this crime could never have been committed. And just a stone's thrown away. I can feel it.
Ow! Someone threw a stone at me.
The truth behind all of this is about to come out. And there they are. And of course.
This is a long witness bench. Thank you for your attendance at such short notice, Dr. Side. I'm disappointed in you, Lord Van Zykes. You have completely betrayed the agreed policy of both Scotland Yard and the prosecutor's office. Betrayal is not in my nature, as long as the truth isn't compromised. If it is, if there's even a hint of wrongdoing, then no matter whom it concerns or disgruntles, And I will pursue the matter to the bitter end, as would any prosecutor worth his salt.
And Pepper? Mr. Trevor, you took the victim's life by means of a machine that you constructed in your work. And Dr. Side, as the investigating coroner, you were the first on the scene to examine the victim's body. It is the belief of the defense that you collaborated with each other and were both complicit in this crime.
And where's your evidence?
At present, we have no definite evidence, but we do have a very significant clue.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking, of course, about the Watts work. This model of the killer known as the Professor was sentenced to death 10 years ago.
You don't need to tell me. I witnessed the man's execution with my own eyes and officially pronounced him dead.
That remains to be seen.
Is that so?
According to a newspaper report from the time, on the night following his execution, the killer came back to life.
Tuh, don't waste my time.
And the sole witness to that mysterious event is standing right next to you. Was you, Mr. Trevor, wasn't it? Even what you saw in the graveyard that night 10 years ago wasn't some chilling fiction, but reality. It will make you privy to the great secret of Dr. Side. A secret so profound it will compel the coroner to agree to collaborate in your evil scheming plan. Mr. Trevor, tell the court. Tell everyone the truth of what you saw that night in Longgate Cemetery. So it's not the
So he was the student who saw it.
Because the result out to get you is a matter.
Surely he's not going to claim there's really what he saw, especially not after all these years.
He was a research student at the University of London, was he?
A bit too clever for his own good, if you ask me. Cool. What an interesting twist.
Hmm?
When at the time, not one person would take me seriously. Yet now here we are, 10 years later, and suddenly my story matters, and in a court of law, too. Very well then, if everyone so wishes. Let's be frank. I'll tell you the truth of what happened that night, for what it's worth.
So, Mr. Trevor, your testimony, please, about the events of that night 10 years ago. You will tell the court exactly what you stumbled across in Lowgate Cemetery.
Yes, of course. As you wish. The reason I was in Lowgate Cemetery at all 10 years ago was for a spot of moonlighting, shall we say?
Bullshit.
Yes, the illustration in that newspaper article was based on what I witnessed that night. But thinking back now, I realized that I never actually saw the professor. Soon afterward, I was visited by a young woman who sculpted a model for me from wax. Then I gave up on my dream of becoming a scientist, and it was all because of that newspaper article.
Oh, that's bullshit. You have a trophy.
Well, it's getting serious, the testimony music.
Wait a minute. You're claiming you didn't actually see the professor now?
Of course. You'd have to have a screw loose if you believed a corpse could come back from the dead.
But, so you're saying this article is?
Not worth the paper it's printed on? I think that would describe it perfectly. Yes.
Ugh! If the details in the article aren't true, it nullifies your argument for what Mr. Turnabout and Dr. Sam will be working together. He's discrediting himself to cripple my argument. Help me with this. You claim to have been in the cemetery for some auxiliary business. Can you elaborate?
That's right. Grave robbing, to be precise. As you know, Lowgate Cemetery is at the rear of Barclay Prison. So among students at the university, it had a reputation of being haunted by the ghosts of condemned convicts.
Grave robbing, you say?
Yes, exhuming fresh corpses to sell is reasonably lucrative. Of course, I never laid a finger on any valuables buried with the dead. I want to say that every time we see one of those orange texts, it's actually lying through his teeth.
Yeah.
So, you are one of the so-called resurrectionists, a particularly unpleasant scourge on society. Actually, my fellows and I went by another name. The Repurposers.
That is quite beyond the pale. You will invite the distribution, sir.
Yes, well, I think I suffered retribution enough. The Duty Circus. The Daily Circus eventually unearthed my name and put it in print. It caused me great many headaches. In the end, I had to leave the university. That was the only paper with the bad grace to identify me unambiguously, I might add.
I see.
And out of interest, who drew the illustration for this article? Ah, yes. That was the reporter who exposed me. He sketched that right in front of me as I described the scene. Obviously, as time ticked on, I bitterly regretted what I'd done. Claiming to have seen something I never truly saw. Foolish. Very foolish.
Okay, this took a turn now. Well, counsel for the defense, you may proceed to cross-examination now. At once, my lord. Okay, this took an interesting turn now.
I know, right?
It's possible he did it out of revenge. Let's see.
The reason I was in Lowgate Cemetery at all 10 years ago was for a spot of moonlighting, shall we say.
Hold it. By moonlighting, you mean grave robbery, do you?
Surely you only need to look at the graveyard scene and my appearance to gauge the answer to that. You'll know when they react.
Yeah, but sometimes, remember last case?
They never did that.
They did.
Don't you Mandela effect me, admin.
Okay.
And the lantern and the spade. Technically, that's a shovel.
Shut up. But who on earth would want to buy a dead body?
Any major hospital.
A hospital?
In order to better understand the human body, the study of anatomy is crucial to medical science. But there isn't a hospital in the world that has enough specimens to work with. Though obviously, they can't openly express an interest in obtaining more by dubious means. As aspiring scientists, we young research students had no money to work with, as I'm sure you can imagine. So we made surreptitious arrangements with a hospital via some of our medical student acquaintances. We would never take anything of value from the graves. This was all for the furtherance of science, you see. That's what we all told ourselves every time we stole into the graveyard at night, spade in hand. You realize body snatching is a serious crime. And if you were caught, you could expect the gravest of consequences. Did you hear me? The gravest of consequences!
Ooh!
Who said that? And I'll have you hanged! Guilty! Guilty, guilty, guilty! I love that word.
Anyway, we students were caught between the hammer and the anvil. We needed funds for research.
Professor Hairbrain said exactly the same. I'm quite speechless at the apparent liberty in which you reveal this abhorrent behavior.
It was 10 years ago, bitch. What are you going to do to me now? Well, if you wanted to know why I was there at Lowgate Cemetery, that's the reason. But I never expected it to end the way it did. That I regret to this day. Yes, the illustration in that newspaper article was based on what I witnessed that night.
Hold it. The strange happening at Lowgate Cemetery, which you now deny.
Not entirely. I ran to fetch the police at the time, you know. I was shaking like a leaf. But they didn't believe a word of it. In fact, I was very nearly arrested myself.
So you went to the papers instead?
I started big with the London News, but unsurprisingly, they didn't want to know either. In the end, though, it was reporters from the gossip rags, the gutter press, that came to get my story. And it spread like the plague through the capital, as gossip-hungry Londoners lapped up the telltale. And the story was in every single paper at the time, with the exception of some broadsheets. And yet only 2 or 3 of them actually interviewed me personally. Most of the accounts turned out to be very interpretive ghost stories.
What about the article in the Daily Circle?
That particular journalist found me at my dormitory. I don't know how, but he discovered my name. So I recounted to him exactly what had happened that night.
And for your discretion, he drew this illustration.
Precisely. That's how I learned that the condemned man was the infamous professor. Because of the reporter told me so. I had no idea myself, you see. Newspaper reporters are wont to snoop around in matters that don't concern them. So the scene portrayed in the illustration is accurate, then? Well. Thinking back now, I realized that I never actually saw the professor at all, though.
Oh, sorry about that. I'll be about it real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hold it. What are you talking about?
I think I explained already, didn't I? Lowgate Cemetery is at the rear of Barclay Prison. So it was renowned among us students at the university for being haunted by the ghosts of condemned convicts. For some absurd reason, I was scared of the graveyard at night. And as a result, only too willing to believe that nonsense about the dead coming back to life.
But you said you actually saw it.
I said what I'd seen in my mind's eye. Oh, that's bullshit. After all, resurrection is impossible, isn't it? You'd have to be unhinged to think otherwise. Unless, of course, you'd have some evidence that proves I encountered the professor that night?
I don't know. Is there any material evidence that could show he's the professor? Oh, wait.
The camera! He had a camera with him, didn't he?
Yeah. With a missing plant. Okay. You have anything at all, Mr. Ahodo? What in the clock tower? What tower is this guy? I know.
We don't know. I don't know where all these, like, steampunk augmentations came from.
I know. I need to present against that irritating backtracking statement of his.
The point is, that night was a pivotal moment in my life. Soon afterwards, I was visited by a young woman who sculpted a model of me from wax.
Hold it. That young woman being Madame Tuspels, of course.
Precisely. I must say, I didn't expect to run into her again like this 10 years later.
I'll explain. I went by the name published in the article and Commissar I found the man. Yes, the article in the Daily Circus, I think you said.
I was a poor student with barely a penny to my name at the time. And the young lady put £5 in front of me.
But the necklace, I say 500 or less than that.
No, I said £5. Do your ears not work? Do you need an upgrade to them? So you readily consented to having a waxwork of yourself made and gave permission for it to be put on display. I did. To sell what little I had to sell, I concluded.
Ah, oui. I remember now. I purchased something else from that day. Oh! It's the camera.
The camera. Did you? I can't say I remember.
What was it, madame? His camera. Ah.
Oh yes, I made a point of taking it with me whenever I made an excursion into any cemetery.
You took a camera with you, sir! To what end?
To record the details of the bodies I disinterred. But I had no intention of ever visiting the graveyard again after that night, so I sold it.
I see. So I still have him, monsieur. It's part of the special activity in my household. I'm very meticulous of such detail. It is just a spell way. You will see then that this is the very camera Mr. Drummer took with him to locate cemetery on the night in question. Yes, interesting.
There we go, that's been updated.
Mm-hmm. So that blog was from the shot, I guess.
Yes, when it struck the body. Then I gave up on my dream of becoming a scientist, and it was all because of that newspaper article.
I should represent it. Why not? Hold it. This article, you mean? Published in the Daily Circle.
Yes, somebody informed the dean that it was my name that appeared in the article. And carelessly let slip that night after night, I was digging up graves. Hardly a model student, you might say. The university's reputation was excessively defiled, and I was expelled as a result.
Mon Dieu, I had no idea.
And having been run out of the university, you found employment in a somewhat specialist trade.
You combine your knowledge of science with knowledge of stage magic. You create various experimental machines intended to demonstrate everything, and you use those defective machines to trick the government and private investors into giving you money. Professor Albert Harebrain was just your little victim, wasn't he?
Whatever are you talking about? I have no recollection of doing anything of the sort.
Of course. What's Trevor up to? Why will he suddenly change his tune and recant his claim? I wonder if perhaps it's because his circumstances have changed now. What circumstance? Well, he admits to having seen the professor emerging alive from his grave 10 years ago. He would expose a secret in Dr. Saipa that she will desperately want to hide. Yes, of course. If Trevor and Dr. Sai are working together now, then if Trevor were to betray her, there will be no reason for her to continue to cooperate. In that case, there's only one way around it. I have to prove he really did see it. Prove he didn't really see the Professor coming back from the dead as he originally claimed. Yes, Mr. Ahuro, exactly!
Alright, so what was it? Was it statement 3? No.
It's statement 3.
Oh yeah, that's right, because we present the camera, because he had it, and he took a photo, right?
Yeah, let's check the camera one more time.
It has no plate in it.
Oh,
But there
there's
is a
blood.
blood stain.
Mm-hmm. She's not saying anything new, so... Yeah, there's blood. Let's review what it says about the blood. Look, Mr. Aholo. What is it? On the bellows, just here. There seem to be some very dark red stains. Yes, you're right. It looks like blood, actually.
Wait, did statement 4 change at all?
This one, no. No, not a semi chase at all, so...
No, I want to see it again.
Okay.
Let's press statement 3 again. Because now that we have the camera updated, we might get the opportunity to present
What
the camera.
are you talking about?
No, we already did this.
Blah, 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 blah. Beep. Beep, beep, boop, para, beep, pa, pa, beep, para, pa, para, beep.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
What you said you... Blah, 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 blah. Beep, boop, para, boop. Beep, boop, pa, 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 boop, para, beep. Para, pa, 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 para, boop. Beep, up.
Unless, of course,
Beep,
you have some
beep.
evidence that proves I encountered the professor that night.
Oh, there is. I don't know. Is there? We need to present the camera then.
Yeah.
Okay, let's give it a try. Oh, come
Nope.
on. Ow. Okay, let's review. Hold on. Da-da-da-ba-da-da-da. Hey, look at the signature, actually.
Yeah, it's the same signature. Wait a minute, maybe we're presenting the wrong evidence. Maybe the camera's not relevant yet.
Not yet, so.
Wait, he's saying he never saw it at all. Then what the fuck is this article? This article is the contradiction.
Yeah,
Let's present the article.
okay. Objection.
There it is.
Sorry, Mr. Trevor, but I don't believe that.
Don't believe what?
Your latest claim. You did see the professor that night 10 years ago.
Oh dear, you seem to be at odds. But I was there, and you were not. I know what I didn't see.
Illustration with this article was drawn based upon what you told the journal that you witnessed. A figure image for a tomb, wearing an iron mask.
Yes, when the killer was tried 10 years ago. It was decided in a closed court's ruling that the man would wear the mask to hide his identity. It wasn't to be removed even during his execution and subsequent burial.
Not even the prison wardens were to see the man's face. But obviously, the provision of this mask was not public knowledge. So, Mr. Trevor, as you just heard, a lowly student of the University of London certainly wouldn't have known about the condemned man mask. Only you actually seen the professor that night. It's inconceivable the article will include the mask in the illustration. Oh, that one hurt actually. Order! Order! Well, Mr. Trevor?
It's a vile scene, isn't it? If you look closely.
Oh, why he going? Oh, what now?
As I've already been at pains to point out, I was utterly petrified. Which is why I had it in my head that I'd seen such a blood-curdling sight. But afterwards, I came to my senses and realized that I'd been mistaken.
You're still saying you didn't see it?
If you're stubbornly sticking to that story, witness, then amend your testimony to explain exactly how you think your eyes deceived you. Of course. Only too happy to oblige.
I can't believe he's still not going to concede the point.
What I in fact witnessed was a fellow grave robber at work.
Okay, we need to press all that. A fellow grave robber? What are you talking about?
Well, I wasn't the only one busy in the cemetery that night. You know, other body snatchers were at work.
Hey, Thanos, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks so much. Of course, when I saw one emerging from the hole he'd dug, my heart very nearly stopped. So that's the terrifying sight I actually saw, you see. You're claiming it was just another student on equally insalubrious business as yourself. Many of the medical students would wear metal masks to protect them from bacteria during dissections.
Oh, that bullshit now.
Clearly this fellow was using such a mask to protect his anonymity, wouldn't you say?
Objection. But there's no more to the story, isn't there? The article goes on to say, in the next second, a gunshot ran out suddenly from behind. The bullet pierced the resurrected man's chest, whose breath then stilled once more. We will assume that the sexton discovered the miscreant at work, perhaps, and fired upon one of them. If a grave digger had shot someone in the cemetery, I think it will again write big news, my lord. Oh yes, well.
I can only assume it was an embellishment bolted on later by the reporter. Alright, Tuspels is having some thoughts.
Very angry thoughts. Excuse me.
Excuse me.
Madame Tuspels. Don't take it out, Mr. Jones. oh la la, pardon. I was lost in my thoughts. Would it be fair to say that Mr. Trevor's last remark was significant to you in some way? I thought it was a little strange, that is all. How Monsieur Trevor could claim this now.
If you don't mind me saying, Madame, what are you talking about?
Well, when I met you 10 years ago at your university dormitory, you recounted to me about your adventures in the cemetery and all, including the gunshot.
Stop! You might want to watch your tongue, you know. An objection! Have a care, Drebber. That's no way to speak to a lady.
Ooh.
That's a lady?
Please, Madame to spell. Carry on. Of course. According to what Monsieur Drebber told me at the time, he did hear a gunshot from behind him and the bullet hit the condemned man.
I said nothing of the sort.
No, you were very explicit about the details. About the mask that he figured was wearing. And the blood that splattered over you when he was shot.
Enough! Shut up, woman! You're making all this up!
Well, will do! Mr. Drebber!
Yes?
You refute the account just given by Madame to spells?
I have no recollection of ever saying those things.
Come on! Do you really expect to... Control yourself, counsel! I will not permit baseless accusations in my courtroom. Right. Under circumstances, I figure best that you should plan your testimony with a statement to clarify your position on this witness.
Very well. There was no gunshot from behind me at all, nor any splattering of blood.
Okay, now
we present the camera.
Let's see, what's it say? When the lens is in the yeah. Objection! Mr. Drebber, do you remember this camera?
Ah,
But that's the camera from that fateful night. Yes, we borrowed it from the House of Horrors. It's the camera you took with you to the center that night, Mr. Drebber.
And is that supposed to be significant?
This kind of camera is rarely seen in our homeland, so my colleagues and I were to examine it closely. We noticed that the lens extends forward to the end of some bellows. Like this.
Hold it! What's that? A new splash text from me? Hell yes! That's how you know this is the sequel. There, just on the bellows. It looks like a dark red stain. Ah!
That's right. It's a rather conspicuous mark here on the bellows, in fact. Good lord! Are you suggesting? Yes, my lord. It would appear to be a splatter of blood. Hopefully that could be confirmed with a simple similar test. Isn't that right, Dr. Sai?
It would be difficult to determine if it was human blood, and not the blood of some animal. But yes, to test whether or not it's blood at all is simple enough.
I propose that Madame to spell testimony was correct. And on the night in question 10 years ago, you were splattered with blood from the gunshot wound.
Well,
And that furthermore, you really did witness the condemned professor emerging from his tomb.
when are we gonna get back to the murder of Odie Asman?
We're getting there. There's simply no way you could have forgotten such a traumatic experience. In other words, the only explanation is that you're trying to hide the fact that you saw the professor that night.
Objection! But why? Why would he want to do that?
Well, not for his own gain, it would seem.
For whose then? Who could benefit?
Mr. Trevor is obviously lying in order to protect somebody. My goodness! He shielded someone? Yes, my lord, and clearly. It's someone who doesn't want the truth about the professor coming back to life to be exposed. Whoa, Council! Who is it then? Who is the witness trying to protect by lying about what he saw that night?
Probably the
Yep,
yeah,
the coroner.
her.
Take that. The obvious answer is Dr. Scythe.
Scythe?
Whatever do you mean? Imagine if the convict who had been sentenced to death was not in fact killed. Imagine if that was to come to light.
What are you insinuating?
And imagine if the convict in question was the country's most hated mass murderer. If it was the professor. That would be an interesting scandal!
Objection! This is beyond a joke. Need I point out that the dead cannot come back to life? What you're suggesting would mean that the execution never actually happened.
Yes, that's exactly what it means.
Objection! Once a man is sent to the gallows, he hangs. No one could escape, not in Great Britain.
Objection! But the fact is, there was a witness to the fact that the man did escape his hanging. Is that really true, Counsel? The implication of misconduct will not stop at the supervising coroner. It will take the honor of the entire judiciary from the ground up! And it's exactly because of those monumental repercussions that Dr. Scythe will consent to any demand made of her by someone who threatened to expose the secret, even if that meant being complicit in a crime. You mean? I mean that Dr. Scythe wasn't collaborating in Mr. Trevor's wicked scheme. She was coerced into collaborating in order to protect her decade-old secret. She switched the dead body of Mr. Asma with his Wadsworth work and fabricated the autopsy report.
Ah!
Oh, the leg! Lord Van Scythe!
Pray forgive my freshly filled hallowed chalice, and a whole raft of other discourtesies now. But I must fully bring out my stand!
Oh, that's me!
It's just the sort of tall-tale Londoners would enjoy, I grant you. An executed killer rising from the dead, a Scotland Yard cover-up, a conspiracy at the highest levels. So let me ask you one thing.
What's that?
If the condemned man really did emerge from his tomb that night, only to be shot in the chest, who pulled the trigger and disposed of him forever?
I'm thinking Scythe. Oh, wait. I had no idea at the moment. We had too little information to work on at present, I think. I couldn't agree more.
The Old Bailey is no place for wild fantasies.
Ugh.
And you have considered this, my learned Nipponese friend?
Consider what?
Do you realize what a dangerous endeavor it would be to coerce this woman into such criminal activity? It's tantamount to declaring war on the entire British police force and judiciary. Quite. Not to imagine any sum of money being offered for research could warrant it.
To rely on some state detention when so much is at stake will be madness! Well, I suppose.
And this was no petty crime either. The victim was murdered. A man who'd already invested money in the venture and would be instrumental in future profits too. Yes, I had no reason to kill Mr. Asman at all.
There's a reason.
Or are you forgetting that his death results in me receiving not a single penny? The court is already aware of the contract between myself and the victim, no?
There is a contract, that is very true. The motive for this case runs deep, though. I can feel it. It's not the money, it's revenge. He doesn't try to force the head of the forensic investigation team to cooperate is extreme. Especially for a government grant he had no guarantee to receive in the first place. If the research grant was the aim, taking Mr. Asman's life would have made no sense anyway. Which means Mr. Trevor's motive wasn't money at all. He was just trying to kill Mr. Asman. But why? What was his motive then? Revenge?
Your time is up, my learned friend. I'd say you have one last chance before the jury lose their patience with this charade. Let's see if you can back up your heady proposal, shall we? Leans back. That took me off guard. I'm sorry. How do you explain why this engineer would throw all caution to the wind and threaten his own country?
At this point, I'm not prepared to listen to no more of this outlandish conjecture without proof. So, counsel, present your evidence. Alright, who exactly was Mr. Asman's driver? There's a connection there that no one's seen yet. I'm going to have to present 2 pieces of evidence to show what it is. Ow. Yes, my lord. Also, do you pause the ad or...
Yes, I did. I paused it.
Okay then. The evidence establishes money that explains why the witness wanted to beat them dead.
Alright, so we're going to get the article that we were just given, the old article.
And the contract, because they had the signed signature.
Yep, they have the same signature.
Take that. This newspaper article, my lord.
That was written 10 years ago, and every detail has been examined already. What can it possibly tell us? That drivel should never have been written. It's typical gutter press nonsense that means nothing.
Yes, on its own, it isn't particularly significant. However, when considered alongside another piece of evidence, it will completely explain your motive for wanting Mr. Asman dead.
What other evidence?
Counsel, you will present the supplementary evidence without delay. The evidence which, when cross-referenced with the newspaper article, established a motive for the deed. The contract. It's this contract, my lord. Mr. Trevor, this is the contract you signed with Mr. Asman.
Yes, that's right. The very document, in fact. That proves I had no reason to kill the man.
No, I'm afraid not.
What?
There's something very significant this newspaper article and the contract have in common.
Really?
And if that common link, that shows very clearly why you were determined to kill Mr. Odie Assman.
It seems the defense has uncovered something the rest of us has missed. So, my learned friend, point out what those two pieces of evidence have in common. Where exactly is the link between the newspaper article and the contract?
The signature, right here. Take that. What these two pieces of evidence have in common is a signature. A signature? The signature on the illustration that accompanies the 10-year article and the signature on the contract belong to the same person.
What? How could I have completely not noticed that?
The court has heard this illustration was run 10 years ago, but the newspaper reporter who found Mr. Trevor and interviewed him about his ordeal. If you look closely, the reporter's signature can be seen in the bottom right corner of the drawing. And if you look at the contract here, which was signed between the witness and the victim last year, you clearly see Mr. Assman's signature at the bottom. Let me see now. Oh, good lord! Yes, they're identical! In short, the journalist who drew the illustration and wrote the article published about Mr. Trevor 10 years ago was the victim of this case, Mr. Odie Assman.
An objection! But explain to the court why. Why would that constitute a motive for the witness to murder Asman?
Well, if you think back, you remember that Mr. Trevor talked about that article in his testimony. Great rubbish, you say?
Yes, exhuming fresh corpses to sell is reasonably lucrative.
That is quite beyond the pale! You will invite divine retribution, sir!
Yes, well, I think I suffered retribution enough. The Daily Circus eventually unearthed my name and put it in print. It caused me a great many headaches. In the end, I had to leave the university. That was the only paper with the bad grace to identify me unambiguously, I might add. Then I gave up on my dream of becoming a scientist, and it was all because of that newspaper article.
Yep, it was revenge. At the time, you were a student at the University of London who dreamed of becoming a scientist.
And we have an ad break now.
Okay, we'll be back soon, after this message.
Woo!
Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that.
Hey, welcome back.
This single newspaper article changed your entire life. So, Mr. Asman used to be a newspaper journalist, is he?
He did, my lord.
Oh, so he knew.
In fact, it's a widely held belief that Asman managed to position himself at the heart of his criminal network. Thanks to the many dubious connections he made during his time as a reporter.
So you had to give up on your dream and leave university. You lost everything. Eventually you found yourself working in the field of science, but only in the shadow. And all because of that article, written by Mr. Asman.
Enough!
Whoa.
Stop this endless drivel about my life.
What? Explain yourself, Mr. Trevor.
Yes, it's true. I had to leave the university as a result of that article. But it was just the straw that broke the camel's back.
What do you mean?
Almost every student of science let me try that again. Almost every student of science in the faculty was too poor to actually conduct any research. But they struggled on with their hypotheses anyway. We all did, only to have them taken by vultures. Sooner or later, you knew your ideas would be stolen and patented by some wretch or other, after all.
Good gracious!
Making a name for yourself as a scientist in a climate like that was a miracle only a select few geniuses could ever hope to achieve. Personally, I wasn't one of those geniuses, so it was hardly a wretch. Being forced out of the university because of Lowgate was the best thing that could have happened to me.
Objection! Mr. Trevor, did you genuinely believe that?
Of course I do. Who's better placed to know whether or not I possess a talent for science than me?
I'm sorry to say that your words don't ring true at all.
How dare you!
And I have evidence to prove it.
The trophy. How are you in a position to say anything about me? I don't know you from Adam. Fine, if you think you have evidence, go ahead. Show it. What could you possibly have to disprove the idea that I was happy to leave university because I lacked talent?
A Royal Society trophy for excellence. Take that. Do you remember this, Mr. Trevor? We found it at your workshop.
Is that a Royal Society trophy for excellence in science? I have one just like it.
What exactly is Trophy Council? And what it looks like that's when I got two. I bought it for the pawnbroker, by the way.
It also goes great for massaging shoulders.
It's the greatest honor that can be bestowed on a young scientist, my lord.
There is no higher accolade. It recognizes emerging talent and promises a bright future.
Good gracious! Your prospects for the future were excellent, weren't they, Mr. Driver? Because even then, you were a genius in your field. But you lost everything. You had no more future. Your talents will go to waste. All as a result of this one newspaper article. I don't know when you realized who Mr. Asman was. When it dawned on you that he was the same journalist who 10 years ago ruined your life. It's abundantly clear that you had no intention of forgiving the man.
The truth is...
Finally, it's going to fold. I have a bad feeling about this. Hold it! What the? Oh, it's her.
Let me try it again. Hold it! Fine. Clearly this has run its course now. What? I admit it. All of it.
What?
What are you doing? It's exactly as the Japanese man said. I was coerced into going along with this man's plot to murder the victim. On the condition that he kept my dirty secret from 10 years ago. No.
Good Lord!
Alright, quick! Call for immediate adjudication! Dr. Scythe! Do you realize what you're saying, woman? It's all true. That day, when I arrived at the Crystal Tower and saw the birdcage, my heart nearly stopped beating. That memory from a decade ago that I had done my best to bury deep inside myself. It was the professor again, staring me in the face. And then, before I had a chance to react, I noticed something else. There was a note tucked inside the model's jacket. Dr. Scythe, you will go along with my plan. From someone who knows the truth about what really happened that night, 10 years ago. All the instructions were there in the note. Every detail was meticulously written out. I had no choice but to do what it said. I made the necessary alterations to the scene and fabricated the autopsy report as instructed. There was really no other choice. It had to be done to protect the judiciary. I can only apologize now. Why on earth would you buckle now? Well, there's no point in trying to hide it anymore, is there? I would have done anything to stop it coming out, even collaborate in a murder. But the great lie about that execution 10 years ago has been exposed. Whatever happens, I'm finished.
So then, Mr. Drebber, what do you have to say to that? Your accomplice has admitted everything.
Surely it goes without saying.
You admit your part in it too, then.
I admit nothing! At all!
What?
Have you forgotten that the kinesis machine was ripped to shreds by an explosion? Short of me admitting to a crime, there's really no possible way for you to prove I did anything wrong.
No! Order!
Whatever this man says, I admit everything. He threatened to expose my secret, so I went along with his plan. And Lord Van Zykes. Yes? I hope you accept my apologies. What happens next is in your hands, of course.
Oh. I heard more than enough now. I hereby present the final findings of this court. Eh? This trial is not the proper forum to which is pursue the alleged wrongdoing of Mr. Driver. The defendant is Professor Albert Hairbrain.
Very true. It had slipped my mind.
Isn't the one who was your closest friends? As the court has heard, Dr. Sa has admitted to the allegation brought by the defense, thereby absolving the defendant of any possible guilt. You mean? At the present time, it is the conclusion of this court that the defendant was not involved in any wrongdoing. Does the prosecution have any objection?
None, my lord.
Oh, congratulations, Mr. Oholo! You proved Professor Hairbrain's innocence! Without further ado then, the adjudication. Unless the prosecution or defense have any other matter to discuss? I don't know, this doesn't feel quite right. Why did Dr. Sai suddenly admit it to like that? Is everything alright, Mr. Naruhodo? Like you said before, the way the trial is set to end now, the judge will certainly deliberate whether or not guilty. But is that really what we want?
Yes, finally.
No, it is.
Immediate adjudication, yes.
Might as well. If the judge gives Hairbrain now, though, Professor Hairbrain will find not guilty without any doubt. Is something trouble you, perhaps? Yes, but it's probably nothing. In the antechamber during the recess earlier, I did give Mr. Shaw my word, though, didn't I? I told her to pursue any doubts I had about the truth to absolute that. You gave Mr. Shaw your word, and it must there isn't nothing. And it means there's one only right answer here. Yes, you're right. I don't know why I was even worried.
It was a forced choice.
The defense objects to the trial ending at this time, my lord. I beg your pardon. We demand one final testimony. What? You do realize what about to advocate in favor of your client, I presume?
What are you playing at now, my Nipponese friend? Why would you want to obstruct the conclusion of the trial at this point? No defense lawyer in his right mind would do that.
Mr. Nahado, what exactly are you thinking? The truth, the whole truth, and a way to bring it all into the open. Right! Yes, in hindsight.
Ah yes, one word of warning before I go. If, in the course of the trial this afternoon, you perceive even a shadow of doubt about the truth, don't let it out of your sight. Pursue it like a dog with a bone. Whoosha! To the bitter end, you understand. Do not falter, whatever may come to pass.
I'm sure Mr. Holmes' chums knew. He must have deduced that this will happen. Yes, I'm here in the court to advocate for my client and to secure an acquittal.
Obviously.
But that's not all. I believe that I have to duty to the court to pursue the whole truth of the case until every last detail is laid bare.
Hmm.
And that is why the defense calls for further testimony from Dr. Side.
Testimony from me? About what?
About the nature of your collaboration with Mr. Enoch Drebber.
Ha! In case it escaped your attention, I've already admitted to everything I did. The whole truth has already been revealed. So stop wasting everyone's time.
Ugh.
As his lordship made very plain, your client will get the acquittal you wanted for him. There's simply no point protracting this business further with another tedious cross-examination. An objection! Ah! My leg! Pray forgive my careless handling of that hallowed bottle. I slipped.
That's what you call it? What is your objection, Lord Van Sight?
The prosecution also calls for supplementary testimony from the witness. Don't be stupid! And if there is more to this case that has yet to come to light, then I will join my learned friend in pursuing the facts until the bitter end.
You said it.
You'll what?
Lord Van Sight.
But this does not mean we're actually friends, mind you. It's not like I like you or anything, Baka.
This is most irregular to say the least. Also set your ship for later. However, as the prosecution also calls for it, I will hold the request. Dr. Sai, you will testify for the court, explaining the full extent of your involvement with the murder apparently committed by Mr. Trevor.
Very well. It all began at the scene where I saw the waxwork and the note tucked inside its jacket. The actual body of the victim, as indicated in the note's instructions, was beneath the experimentation stage. The body had to be arranged in certain ways to implicate the defendant, which was my job. I enlisted the help of the entire forensic investigation team to dress the scene appropriately.
Oh my god.
The truth about the execution 10 years ago is a state secret at the highest level. I had to protect it.
So I was right. The stage and the machine were all specially designed for deception.
So it seems, and all meticulously prepared. You did well to see through it. You're a very shrewd boy.
So kind of you to say. And what about this autopsy report then?
All I did was record the location of the body as being in the Crystal Tower instead of under the stage.
That's all? That's a terrible correction!
Only my team were aware of the deceit, and then only under my explicit instructions. Nobody else at Scotland Yard knew anything about it, I assure you.
We must be thankful for small mercies, I suppose. Well, I believe that testimony has clarified everything. There's no particular need for a cross-examination, I will say. No, I disagree. I can't shake the feeling something's wrong. Just look at the expression on Dr. Sai's face. Is the defense right to cross-examine any witness's fallen testimony?
What is it about you Japanese that make you also doggedly persistent?
Very well. If you do desire counsel, proceed with the cross-examination. Yes, my lord.
It all began at the scene where I saw the waxwork and the note tucked inside the jacket.
Hold it. From what you described before, it sounded like the note was anonymous. Do you have any idea who was behind it?
Well, yes, actually. It was written anonymous. That's how it was signed. There are very few people in the know about what really happened 10 years ago to start with. But anyway, I've never heard of this engineer, so no, I had no idea.
Yet, despite of not knowing who was behind the plan, you went along with it.
I had no choice. Protecting the professor's secret was my only concern.
Oh god. He made
What's
a clip.
going on this time?
He made a clip.
I'll have to look at this later.
Okay. You read that line, right?
Yes, I read that line. Let's go. But the horse has bolted now, and the stable door will never shut again. Scotland Yard's reputation will be immeasurably damaged as a result of all of this. Yes, thank you, Lord Van Sykes. I'm well aware of that.
So, I understand it. What you found in the birdcage was the Wadsworth model. Where then was the victim's body?
The actual body of the victim, as indicated in the note's instructions, was beneath the experimentation stage.
Hold it. So you knew about the special construction of the stage used to carry out the trick then?
It was quite obvious what had happened to the victim in the waxwork.
And you switched the two over, didn't you? In other words, you recorded the victim's body as having been discovered in the Crystal Tower and the what's work?
I wrapped it and sent it by carriage to the specified address at the specified time.
And why were you given such directions?
Presumably so it could be recovered by Drebber and returned to Madame Tuspel's.
I see. And then you put the birdcage back onto the experimentation stage.
Yes, although someone obviously made a mistake about which cage should go where. I thought it made perfectly clear to them, but still.
I suppose you were focused on the victim's body. That's been more important detail.
The body had to be arranged in certain ways to implicate the defendant, which was my job.
Hold it. When you say arrange, I presume you mean with this.
Yes, the instructions in the engineer's notes said something along the lines of, fabricate some evidence to make it clear that the harebrain alone could have killed Asmund.
So you mean that what you're doing?
I fetched Harebrain's ridiculous screwdriver from the stage and took it with me, alone, to the abyss under the stage where the birdcage had fallen.
Alone, Doctor? Oh.
I didn't feel it would be appropriate to involve anybody else in that particular part of the deception.
Oh, yes.
There was a void under the stage where I found the birdcage lying in the dirt.
Most not to so saying.
Very jolly not good, sir. Very not smashing. And I approached it and leaned down to slowly open it up. Then I took the screwdriver in both hands and plunged it into the man's chest.
Oh. And then you noted that in your fake autopsy report as a fictitious cause of death.
Exactly. So, the actual cause of death was... the trauma resulting from the 30-foot drop.
My word! What is it, Mr. Sato? Something about Dr. Sai's last statement. It's playing on my mind, that's all. Yes, mine too.
Yeah, because we found the screwdriver in the grill of the machine,
That is
not in the
correct.
body.
Dr. Sai.
There's really no need to shout. I can hear you perfectly well.
The defense calls you to add what you just said to your formal testimony.
Oh? Which part?
What I want her to supplement your testimony is...
What she did to the victim.
how you stabbed Mr. Asman in the chest. That part.
Fine, if that's what you want. But there's really no need to point. The prosecution concurs as he points. The idiots.
Very well, you will supplement your testimony now with this.
If you wish, my lord. It reminds me of this one bit in like the original Phoenix Wright trilogy where he bangs the desk in cross-examining a witness, and the witness is like, would you please stop banging on your desk? It hurts my ears. And then Edgeworth also slams on his desk, and he's like, that's right! You shall stop it! Oops. I serve as the victim's corpse where it lay on top of cage and plunged a screwdriver into the chest. You were saying?
No, I remember that. Which one you're talking about now? But let's see. We should press, or yeah, let's press.
Let's present the photograph of the victim. Because there's no screwdriver there.
Oh, that's right. Objection. I got a nasty feeling that this inconsistent point to an extremely uncomfortable truth. What is the matter? What order for the Black Castle?
What's this music?
Oh,
What is this music?
Oh, this is new.
This is very new. I like it.
Yep. One of their college courses is lawyer poses. Yes, also not the Georgia Institute of...
Because everyone in the Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney series has some kind of superpower. Like, holy shit.
Yeah. Miles Edgeworth is common sense.
No. Phoenix has the Magatama, which lets him see the locks on people's hearts.
Yeah.
Miles Edgeworth can banish people to the chess dimension and logic them to death. I'm going to get you those games so you can see just what that's all about. That's only in the second one, though.
Yes.
Apollo can see the twitches of people by slowing down time.
Yes.
And then Athena can listen to the emotions in people's hearts because her ears are just that fucking good. Like,
Yes.
what the hell?
It's just, man, I love gels.
Okay, let's continue.
Have you lost your tongue? I apologize, my lord. Dr. Sad, in that last statement of yours, there's just one point that seems to defy explanation.
Out with it, my learned friend.
There's an obvious inconsistency between your description and this photograph.
The chest wound.
We showed the victim in the barricade following the events that led to his death.
Objection! The court has already examined that photograph in depth. There's nothing new we can learn from it.
Objection. Yes, we have already considered that's true. But we now know the facts to be different.
What do you mean?
I believe we should let the defense explain it. Where in this photograph we see the alleged inconsistent with the distance statement? The chest wound.
The chest wound.
Take that. Look closely at the bloodstain on the victim's chest. It clearly extends in a downward direction towards the man's feet. Oh! Oh, I see what they mean now. Why is that significant, counsel? the victim was stabbed moment before the kinesis machine was set in motion.
That's a good impression of Ryunosuke, Judge.
Oh. The victim has some moments before the kinesis machine was in motion. That's entirely expected. Of course! No, that's not what happened! Exactly, my lord. And don't do that again. I definitely don't sound like that. You'll be surprised, Mr. Naruhodo. You'll be surprised. Dr. Sais made it clear in her testimony just now that the point at which she stole the Professor Hairbrain's screwdriver and stabbed the bit was after the grand deception was set in motion when the birdcage had fallen below the stage out of sight. From the shape of it, it's clear the birdcage would have fallen on its side after the 30-foot drop. And if the bit had really been stabbed while inside the cage in that position, the blood from the wound would have been spread out equally in all directions. For it to have formed the longitudinal appearance we see in the picture, it's inconceivable. Given that the victim's blood thick vertical the ones from the wound, it must be the case that when you stabbed Mr. Assman, he was standing up. In short, Dr. Side, your latest testimony was total fabrication.
Hey, Izzy.
I knew it. I was right. Now I didn't identify the contradiction. There's only one way to explain the facts. We're all being under a great misapprehension here.
What? What sort of misapprehension?
Dr. Side. You claim you were coerced into helping Mr. Drever as a result of the note he left.
I am not a doctor, you know. I dropped out of university.
I know, don't remind me.
But it has a nice ring to it.
You claim that you made changes to the scene of the crime to implicate the defendant. And you claim that you authorized a fake autopsy report to cover your tracks. But one of these claims is utter a loud lie. Because the question of what the bloodstain really tells us has only one possible answer.
If that is the case, what is it, man?
Counsel! You clearly struck upon a revelation. Now tell the court what is it? Which part of Dr. Sai's story is shown to be a lie of the contradiction testimony?
Stabbing of the victim.
The answer is very simple if you consider the sequence of events. If when the victim was stabbed, the blood from the wound seeped downwards as it did, we can assure that the victim must have been either sitting or standing upright at the time.
But as you rightfully pointed out, the birdcage will have fallen on its side when it fell beneath the stage.
Yes, it would, which tells us that the victim must have been in that position of his own accord.
An objection! That's impossible! The man was dead, remember?
No! That is a misapprehension! Are you listening, man?
Well, maybe if you took the rocks out of your mouth, I'd be able to understand you more clearly.
When the birdcage flew from the stage into the void below, it must have hit the ground with considerable force. The fall didn't kill him, basically. But Mr. Assman didn't die in the fall. He probably lost consciousness for a while, but when he came around, he got to his feet to climb out of the cage. Just as Miss Dr. Sai appeared. The victim was in fact alive at that point in time. It changes everything. Yep. Mr. Odie Assman's killer wasn't the defendant, Professor Hairbrain. Nor was it the mastermind behind the stage trickery, Mr. Edno Trevor. It was you, Dr. Courtney Scythe.
It was you! I choose you, Dr. Courtney Scythe!
Order! 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 Can this possibly be true?
Have you been taking me for a fool? It was you, was it? You killed him?
You hope that by admitting to being an accomplice in Mr. Trevor's scheme, the trial will end before you were accused of a far worse crime. Cold-blooded murder.
Oh, do shut up! You're so desperate now. You're making all this up. As if I would do something like that.
Objection! Objection! I assume your defense is not desperate, Doctor. Mr. Hare has established the fact using evidence and logic alone.
Ha! Logic? Don't make me laugh. Sadly, your logic has a gaping hole in it.
What do you mean?
I'd have thought it was obvious. A motive, boy. You're lacking a motive. What possible reason would I have to kill Mr. Asman? Asman was involved in any number of criminal activities, from coercion to theft to murder. But there is no known connection to Dr. Scythe there.
I'm relieved to say it does seem somewhat far-fetched. True, there's no obvious motive, but there's still something in the back of my mind. I feel sure I've been something somewhere that hints at why the coroner might have done that. Steven was our last name, so let's see.
I don't know yet. Can we just keep going on with this?
I think it's this, anyway.
Possibly, but whatever. Yes, I might have tampered with the crime scene and concocted a fake report. But murdering someone for no reason is a very different story.
Objection. No, when you question what possible reason you could have for what did Mr. asked, something did come to mind.
What?
What is the council? Enlighten the court at once! Yes, we saw it yesterday, did we? Something that seemed strange, but we had no reason to suspect at the time. There's a particular object that explains why Dr. Syke would have wanted to kill Dr. Asman.
Scalpels.
Oh yeah, they were...
Yeah, because she had the order for the bulk order for scalpels.
It's a scalpel, but rather scalpels. Do you say scalpels? It would appear that word has struck a chord, Doctor.
You, come on, out with it!
It was yesterday when we visited your laboratory. Look at this big, thick book here. It appears to be an account of ledger. It's a record of the forensic investigations in spending, I think. Oh? What is it? It's clear that the team purchased various equipment and supplies on a monthly basis, but... Well, one entry is rather strange. Really? In what way? They buy 500 scalpels every month!
Scalpels! Not
Scalpels.
scaples.
Scalpels! Fine, whatever. 500 scalpels a month? At first, I wonder what on earth we'll be using that many scalpels for. But actually, I realize now it's not the scalpels themselves that is significant. It's the money from them. Disappearing every month from the department's accounts.
Asmon's criminal organization relied heavily on extortion for its funding.
Oh no.
Tracing money from the forensic investigation team's account to find out where it was going would be extremely straightforward.
10 years ago, when Mr. Asman was still a journalist and wrote this article about Mr. Trevor, he may well stumbled upon information as he was researching the story. Information relating to Dr. Sai's darkest secret that he could use to rack money from her for the next decade. Her darkest... Good lord, you mean? I don't know what happened on the night of that execution 10 years ago. But clearly the opportunity to rid yourself of that menace was too tempting to pass up. So, in the end, you weren't coerced at all, were you? You did it entirely of your own free will. You stabbed Mr. Asman in the heart with all your might. To silence the blackmailer who knew your dark secret forever.
You'll never understand. None of you. What we had to keep covered up all those long years.
As very little of the machine remains after it was ripped apart by the bomb. The truth of this case may never be properly established unless you speak up. And if you decide not to, it's very possible that Courtney Sai will escape punishment for her crime. Please, sir, own up to what you've done and tell the court the truth about what happened.
10 years ago, you told the truth, and you were robbed of a bright and successful future as a result. I can certainly understand your bitterness and your consternation now. However, this is surely the chance you've been waiting for to sever the hold that fate's had over you all those years. Super high voltage instantaneous kinesis? I mean, really. It's the addle-brained mock scientists that are the worst, you know. They don't recognize the fact that they don't have a talent. They can't even get that right. And so they end up chasing impossible dreams, having unbridled faith in their abilities. They'd go on and on about their wonderful hypotheses, their stupid eyes shining like a little child's. They'll make me sick! I can't abide their foolishness!
Careful, Mr. Trevor!
I was particularly pleased with the kinesis machine. It made for quite a show, didn't it?
So you admit it? You admit it was nothing more than a sham made for the purpose of killing the victim?
Yes, I admit it. I did it all in the name of revenge.
Revenge for the future that Mr. Asman article had deprived you for of 10 years earlier. But the revenge you sought didn't start an assman, did it?
Which is where that very particular waxwork comes in. Yes, I see.
The condemned vagabond that you saw rising from the grave in Lowgate Cemetery 10 years ago. In your account of those events was true.
And obviously Scotland Yard couldn't afford to acknowledge what had happened. Even if it meant discrediting a bright young man and crushing any future career he might have had.
So your plan required that you adopted a particular waxwork model in order to exact your revenge on Scotland Yard as well. Or on Dr. side to be precise.
It was a year ago. By some extraordinary twist of fate, Asmund turned up at my workshop. He didn't remember who I was, of course. He just wanted to employ my services as an engineer. And he happened to have a paper with him. An article on the front page caught my eye. About the coroner who'd handled that bogus autopsy, being appointed head of a new forensic team. When I learned that news, my cognitive process is starting to devise a plan.
What a horrid tale.
He robbed me of my future, so I wanted to use the man's own wiles against him for revenge. And have that rotten Scotland Yard eating out of my hand at the same time. I wanted them all to suffer the same humiliation I had to suffer.
Your actions against those who ruined your future were justified as revenge, at least to yourself. Certainly, no one has the right to destroy another's prospect, especially for purely selfish gain. And yet, in carrying out your plan, you did exactly that to someone else, didn't you?
Did I?
Professor Henry's only crime was passion for his hypothesis. But you had to not compunction about sacrificing his future to effect your revenge. You knew that he would be forever branded a failure and a fraud. Perhaps life treated you unfairly 10 years ago, and other misconduct left you life in tatters. But remember this. Your own actions resulted in exactly the same thing for another perfectly innocent young man.
I...
Lorban Sights! What of Dr. Sight?
An immediate warrant for her arrest has been granted, and she's been remained in custody, my lord. And I presume she'll face trial in the coming days, along with Mr. Drebber.
A most regrettable situation indeed. She's made great contribution for her profession over the years. It's really a hard truth to swallow. However, that is a topic for some other future occasion. For now, Professor Hairbrain.
Oh, yes?
It seems there was a great deal more to your experiment than you realize. However, I think we can assume now that all the sort of details have been brought to light. This has been a very long and profound trial, but I'm pleased to say you're absolved of all guilt.
This whole experience has taught me a very great but painful lesson. I've been, me, dedicated scientist, this devotee of natural philosophy. I've been selfish and self-centered, and above all, a fool.
Professor.
I've spent my life thinking of nothing but my research. Misguidedly believing that I could do whatever I set my mind to, despite my lack of talent. And the worst of it is, it's a process that caused others pain and misery. Others who are far, far greater people than I. No, Professor, that's not true. What? Don't tar yourself with the same brush as Drebber. What happened was his doing and his alone. The outcome of his fate, not yours. You're not to blame in any way.
Lord Scythe.
And the derision with which he referred to you earlier, calling you a fool, talentless even. The man has no idea. To believe in yourself and work your fingers to the bone to realize your dreams. That's laudable, not laughable. No one has the right to deride another of such choices. Oh. Thank you, Belloc.
So, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I forgot you were here, but anyway. Yes, my lord. It is this court's solicitation to find the defendant not guilty of the charge of which he stands accused. I presume there are no objections?
Next course case, can I be the foreman of the jury? Because I've never been it once.
Okay. None from me, my lord.
Certainly not.
This trial has really made me think, but it is the right decision.
It's all been proven methodically and rigorously. I have no misgivings whatsoever.
What was that? Yeah? Hello? What bit to cover? Yes, I declare call.
I don't know what's become of the yard these days. I don't recognize the place.
Very well. In that case, I hereby pronounce the defendant.
Hold it! Yay! Woo!
I swear to God, who keeps shooting those fireworks?
Gia's not even here. Or is she?
Horn is assured.
Woo!
It's over. Thank you. That was some trial. Professor, what a splendid outcome, isn't it? Oh, it is! It is! Congratulations, Professor Hairbrain!
Mr. Nalhodo, Miss Susato, I am truly
Outrageous?
beside myself with gratitude. How can I ever thank you enough?
I'm just glad it's all being cleared up. That you realize you were just caught up in a bad situation.
Right now, you know, if I had that research grant money. I give it the whole lot to you, every penny. It's almost 1,000 guinea.
Don't remind me, please. Well, that's very kind, but I'm just a student, so... We don't need any financial reward. Your acquittal is more than enough.
Yeah, well, gratitude don't put food on the table, lady.
Yes, I heard you, show.
What can I do? Aha! How about this? As a memento, the paper about my hypothesis is inside. It's just a little light reading.
Well, just a memento then. Thank you. What are you wondering, Professor? What are you going to do now?
Oh my, yes. What am I going to do? My hypothesis and my great machine lie in ruins. But still, it's been too long since I was last in London, so perhaps I'll enjoy some sightseeing. I must explore the great expedition whilst I'm here too, and see if new inspiration hits me.
Oh yes, that's a wonderful idea.
I can't allow that.
Oh.
I can't allow that.
Lord Van Sykes, what are you doing here?
Surprise, bitch. Belloc! And I'm sorry you had to go through that, Albert. Well, if I'm honest, it was terrifying. You were like a great demon behind your bench there, snarling down on your prey. You're one of the few true friends I have. And I couldn't leave it to anybody else to handle the prosecution or the defense.
Nani? Oh, the defense? Did I just hear that right?
I always knew that you had my best interests at heart. Don't worry. How about you show me around while I'm here in town? It's been a long time since we left university. We have a lot to catch up on. Listen, Albert. In a few days, your acquittal will be made official. When that happens, you must head straight to Dover. I'll accompany you. What? From there, you'll cross the channel and make your way back to Germany. I've already purchased the tickets. But no! Hold on a minute, Belloc. What about the Great Exhibition? This is my chance of a lifetime for me. I want to look around and... No sightseeing, Albert. Give up on the idea. Sometimes it's hard to see any warmth in those eyes, Belloc.
Lord Van Sykes. Oh. What is this all about?
A necessary precaution.
Yes, I think I understand. You do? And hold on. Guy. Up. Well, Iris told me that when you met Lord Van Sykes at his office some days ago, he asked how Mr. Natsu was doing. Yes, that's right. I remember being surprised at the time. I think it was nice of him to ask. The point is, Mr. Natsume is alive and well. Even though it's been more than 6 months now since he stood trial with the Reaper as the prosecutor. Oh, you mean the Reaper's influence doesn't stretch overseas?
Those in the Reaper's sights meet their end days or sometimes months after their acquittal. And that's been a pattern up until now.
Of course, we know that both Mr. Natsume and Gina were completely innocent.
True. And perhaps that governs the Reaper's actions. The truly innocent are spared. But I don't want to take any chances with a close personal friend.
Balak!
Like the mustached Nipponese, this man should leave the country without delay. And that's why I'm packing him off to Germany at once.
Like in a parcel?
Exactly. Do you know how expensive train tickets are? This is more economic. It saves me money! I stuff him in a box, and I stuff that box in another box, and I mail that box to Germany where he gets smashed with a hammer! Wait, that doesn't sound right.
Alright. Does your French-shaped package get anything in it? Goodness! This is Tisha all alone then, Mr. Lord Van Sykes? In core, where people think of him as a Reaper, this man seems absolutely merciless. And yet, sometimes I feel as though I don't understand him at all.
That's because I'm no longer in court, you idiot. It's time to go, Albert. Back to the prison for the time being. Ah, yes. All right. Well then, Mr. Naruhodo. Thank you so much for everything.
Not at all, Professor. It was a pleasure getting to know you. Best wishes, Professor Hairbrain.
Well, once the dust is settled, you must come and visit me in Germany. Anyway, goodbye for now. Now, my Nipponese friend.
Oh, yes. I thought you'd gone too.
We have matters to discuss. Can you spare me some time?
That depends how much we have left on this day, the stream. You want to talk with me?
Be still, my heart. And I'll be waiting in the courtroom in 10 minutes. Is he finally going to confess his feelings for me?
Oh, that was strange. For some reason, I didn't get that sense of impending doom as we walk away this time. Yeah, Ned, Baron Van Sykes. What does he want to discuss, I wonder? The answer awaits in the courtroom, I suppose. Here goes then.
Wait, are they going to open up the mask, finally?
We'll see.
Oh my god, I think they will. So, are you satisfied? You saved a guileless scientist from a great injustice.
Yes, I think so. A relief at least. And that the man innocent will be proven.
Anyway, I imagine you've been wondering where my animosity towards you Nipponese come from.
Oh, here we go. Don't tell me. Ow! Well, at first I thought you didn't like me. I imagine you saw me as a potential shell for an important land who had no business being here. But now I think differently.
Well, you were right on your initial assumptions.
You clearly know our ways. So I will guess that some specific incident led you to your throughout dislike of my race. Will you tell me what happened, please?
The professor.
Oh no.
And I thought I'd never hear that name in this courtroom again, to be honest.
He took your brother's life.
Clint. My brother was Clint Van Zykes. 16 years ago, when I was still just in my teens. He was already director of prosecutions and a key member of the judiciary. And I looked up to him. He was my everything I aspired to be. And he was involved in the establishment of justice systems in foreign countries as well. There were exchange programs between Britain and other nations then too, to share knowledge and ideas. And as part of one of those programs, 3 judicial students came to Britain from your homeland, the Empire of Japan.
Oh! If you got 16 years ago, then one of them could have been my father.
And of course, and I remember Dr. Mikitoba well.
I had no idea.
And I was a minor at the time, training at the prosecutor's office. One day, Clint introduced me to the 3 visiting Nipponese.
So, you have been actually met my father.
He and his colleagues were polite and amicable. They were adept at their work and exacting in their standards. It was my first encounter with the Nipponese spirit, and it made a very great impression upon me. But 6 years later, that's when it happened. The investigation was going nowhere. There were no suspects even, just an ever-growing list of victims. And in the end, my brother became one of them. The last, in fact, before the case was finally resolved.
I'm so sorry, Lord Van Zykes. Truly.
Clint was always ready to put his life on the line for justice anyway. So he wouldn't have wanted it any other way. He lost his life to the killer, but it was his victory in the end. For me personally, though, it was a great loss. I found myself in a very dark place indeed. When I finally found out the killer's identity, the reason why no one had been unable to catch this man soon ceased to be such a mystery.
He was a foreigner.
He'd been hiding in plain sight all the time.
In plain sight.
Are you aware of political events 10 years ago? It was a period of extremely sensitive diplomacy between the British and the Japanese empires.
A new treaty was being forged, I think.
Correct. The Anglo-Japanese Treaty of Friendship and Navigation was being concluded. The leaders of both countries were deep in extensive political discussions. Which is why this particular killer's appearance in court was conducted in a closed trial. And if the British public had known the identity of the killer, not only would the treaty have been in jeopardy, but our 2 nations could very well have ended up at war.
The professor was Japanese. What? A war between Britain and Japan? What that will mean? Oh my, you mean to say the professor was... Yes, I knew.
When the trial reached its conclusion earlier, I thought to myself, yes, it's time. Oh no, we're gonna get an ad break too! Oh wait, we can pause it here. Excellent.
Okay, so yeah, let's wait. Yeah, this is getting too good.
This is getting really good.
Just a sec. Okay. Ah.
The time for you to come Oof, heat vent. Ooh.
There you go.
Ow. All right. The time has come. Time for you to come face to face with this hideous monster.
Eh?
And I borrowed the key for the mask from the proprietress of the Waxwork Museum. So see for yourselves now. Confirm it with your own eyes. The truth that's been hidden this past decade.
God damn it!
What's it? Before you know it, they're gonna be eating sports candy and moving and running and
That's
jumping and
the
dancing
professor?
and being healthy.
That's the professor?
Yes, that's him.
Until now, the thought never even crossed my mind. The mass murderer whose crimes shook Britain as never before
That's not very flattering at all.
was Japanese. Well, I guess he's Japanese. Wait a minute! That face! I feel though I've seen it somewhere. Strangely familiar. Don't tell me. Yeah, it's obviously Kazuma.
Father.
Oh no! What? Father? Yeah, it's obviously Kazuma at this point. Kazuma! My best friend, Kazuma Asobi. After a whole year, finally his memory returned. And he stood there before me.
Ryunosuke.
Hello again. My friend. Kazuma-sama!
Judicial Assistant Mikotomo. It's been a very long road. Thank you. Thank you for guiding my friend here when I could not.
It was an honor. I knew you wouldn't die that easily. Kazuma.
I owe you thanks, too. For taking good care of that in my absence.
Hmm? Oh. Kazuma, the great blade of the Karuma.
Karuma!
The great blade of the Sogi clan passed down through the generations. Never used. When we left Japan, this sword was at my friend's side. A Japanese man's katana is his soul, and he couldn't be parted with it. But then, when the incident happened, It was Susato-san's wish that I inherit the sword. And I kept it with me ever since, along with my memories of the friendship we shared. With this smile at my side, I always felt like you were washing over me somehow.
Now I have 2 swords. Excellent.
Oh yes.
I've made it. At last. Father.
Are you saying? Surely not. You mean you knew the answer this time? I'm looking at it, but I still can't believe it. This mass murderer is Kazuma's father. Oh. Damn!
That's an absurdly sharp blade. And that's not even his katana, that's his English saber.
Kazuma-sama.
Ryunosuke. We have much to talk about, but now is not the time. I'll be seeing you.
Whoa. Oh. That's all Kazuma said. Before he turned and left us there in the courtroom.
So, he's the living after-image of the man who took my brother's life, is he?
Yes, Kazuma Sogi, my best friend.
3 months ago, when Lord Strongheart introduced us, I had an inkling there was something there, some connection.
But why did Lord Strongheart do that? Why did he make Kazuma Lord Van Syke's apprentice? And why he has suffered amnesia too?
The man who was apprehended, even executed. But his legacy just won't die. That's the sad truth. Anyway, that's all I had to say. And I thank you for meeting with me as I asked. Just fades out of existence like a ghost. I was secretly dead the entire time.
10 years ago, my grandmother took me to the railroad station. We were there to meet my father from the train. For me. It was the first time I ever see him. Poor Susato-san. All this tied up with its painful memories of her too.
10 years ago. That was 10 years ago.
She's never talked about this with me before though. It took me time to adjust to having her father around, but just when I was starting to get used to it, he called me into his study one day. He told me that a great friend of his has passed away in London, and that the friend had left behind a son. A boy, 7 years my senior. Yeah, that will explain it. But told me the boy had made a promise to his late father, so he was starting to become a defense lawyer.
But now he's a prosecutor. Where have I heard this story before?
Yeah. I wanted to help, so I started to become a qualified judicial assistant.
10 years ago? That's a measurement of time. 12 months, give or take. That's not important now.
So I'm sure you'll work out. That young one's name was Asuma Asogi. So you see, that's how he and I met. For a brief moment, my great friend had returned, only to disappear again out of sight. But in that fleeting encounter, something stirred. Something that had been dormant for a long time. The great wheels had been set in motion. I could almost hear him creaking into life. In some ways, it was the end of a chapter, but in many, it was the start of a new one. The end.
Finally, jeez.
Even? The return of the great departed soul. Yes, that makes sense now. Okay, so before we go, what's the name of the next chapter? Twisted
Karma and his last bow. Bow.
Bow. Bow. Okay then.
Bow, bow, wow. Anyway, that was fun.
Yeah, it took several turns, but we finally made it.
Well, you know what they say, 2 wrongs don't make a right, but 3 rights make a left.
Anyway, thank you very much for being here. We'll be continuing on Thursday.
Hopefully.
Yes. As for Friday, I don't have anything prepared in particular, though.
We don't need to do anything on Friday.
No, I'm just
unless
saying.
you want to.
No, that's the thing I'm gonna say. Someone, well, yeah, my same name. I feel a gang that is Daniel, that the BG streams, they're gonna be doing a whole day stream because it's Halloween.
You think they'll ever pull us in on a little collaborative stream or something? I don't know.
At some point, but in due time, but yeah, like I said, yeah, at some point they do via chat, and if I'm actually back home at that point because I have to go to Colombia for work. But I'm hoping I should be back by then. I might show up I might show up at some point if they do something like VR chat or something. I don't know, I cannot guarantee
If they do, let me know so I can join in with you.
We'll see. Anyway. But yeah, we'll see you on Thursday for the next chapter of the Grace Attorney Chronicles. Everyone else, have a good night, and we'll be seeing you around.
Bye!
Take care.